Hey friend, guess what? I analyzed over 128 astrological points across the birth charts of the 10 wealthiest people on earth. Why? Because I was looking for the secret sauce, the sauce that helps me understand what is the cosmic signature of the billionaire archetype. And what I find was not a specific sign. No. What I found was that there is an elemental balance at play here for them. More than half of the placements in these 10 charts belong to just two, not 13, just two elements, fire and earth, vision and structure. And right now, as we move in through 2026, the sky is flooding with fire energy as Saturn it navigates through Aries, Neptune in Aries, and soon Jupiter will be moving into Leo. And these are very special times, friends. We haven't had this level of activation for these elements in a very, 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 very long time. So the universe is handing you the vision. It's handing you the ability to question what is it that you want to do. Do you have the structure to build it and hold it? So let's get into it. But first, if you're a coach, healer, creator, or artist, and you are building a heart led business, come join us in the Business Astrology Hub over in school. We are now ranked number 44 in the spirituality category, and you're invited to join us to help you build through networking, visibility, and action with astrology. So you're invited, questmystic.com/school. All right, so welcome. This is video 5 of the Cosmic Cash Flow series. Today we're looking at the elemental balance that defines the most successful businesses on this planet, okay? And what are those two elements? Fire and earth. And what's interesting about this, and let me move on because we see this split, we see that there is more than 55% of individuals that have this makeup of fire versus earth. And what is fire? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. What is earth? Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. And boom, here's the graph here. Across 128 placements in 10 billionaires charts, fire came in at 28.9%, earth came in at 26.6%. And so together they make up over 55% of the entire data set. This is the dominant elemental signature of the billionaire archetype, fire and earth, nearly balanced, nearly equal, right? So the message is here is not that you need to be a fire or earth sign to succeed. The message is that a business requires both a vision and a structure in order to scale. You need to have that vision of how to begin, where to start, and then the structure to sustain it. Okay, so yes, we had some individuals that had water and some had air, but the predominant ones were fire and earth. And so, fire, what is fire all about? Fire is about vision, risk, and initiation. All right. This is someone who has an initial, like, oh, sparks, and then just goes. All right. The element of being bold, of just letting go of things and not being encumbered by other things. It has the courage to go first. Aries is the pioneer. It claims the right to begin. In business, this looks like the launch, the cold call, the first product before anything has hit the market in the past. All right. They're not concerned of what has been done. They're just doing. All right. The Leo archetype is the creator. It claims the right to be seen. This is the personal brand, the stage presence, the offer that you can only deliver. All right. Leo. We all have Leo in our charts, by the way. And depending on where it is, it's a different expression. Now, Sagittarius is the expander. It claims the right to grow. This is the big vision, the international market, the course that teaches thousands of people. And each of us, again, has these parts within our charts, but some are louder than others. So while we want fire, we also need earth. Otherwise, the fire is just wildfire. It just burns bright and fast and leaves nothing to stand, all right? Nothing there for it to hold on for something to build from, right? Imagine this fire, and then after it goes out, what are you left with? Ashes. You need a container for that passion, for that drive. And so vision without structures basically stays in the realm of maybe someday. So what is earth? So earth, the element of tangible results, all right, of compounding growth and the long game. Earth is where we find structure, systems, and output. It is the element of what we can see tangibly. At the end of the day, this is what I did. This is what it took. And it's the discipline to actually finish it. Taurus is known as the builder. It claims the right to possess, to hold things. In businesses, the revenue model, the pricing strategy, the physical assets. Whereas Virgo is of the master builder. They are the ones who are very particular in having all the structures and everything figured out before it goes anywhere. It claims the right to be perfect. This is the operational system, the customer service workflow, the daily habits that keeps the business humming and running. Capricorn is known as the executive. It claims the right to govern. This is the long term strategy, the corporate structure, the legacy planning. And again, we all have these energies. We just need to tap into them. All right. But Earth without fire is a machine with no mission. It is highly efficient at doing things that might not matter in the long run. And you want to balance the two. So the extremes, what does that look like? So we have Bill Gates and Larry Ellison here as an example. So to understand how this plays out, let's look at these two extremes data sets, two different paths to very extraordinary wealth. Bill Gates has zero placements, zero, none. Did I say zero Earth? Yeah, Earth. He's almost entirely all fire and air, although he does have water. He is the pure visionary. His genius is very conceptual, not operational. He has others that do that for him. He saw the value of software before the hardware existed. He licensed MS-DOS, right? This is way before Windows, instead of selling it. That is the strategy of pure vision. Now, Larry Ellison, on the other hand, has a massive Virgo stellium. A stellium is when we have many planets in one space, in one sign. And he has 5 planets. He has Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Chiron in Virgo. He is the pure architect. Oracle is not about beauty. Oracle is the company that he owns. It is about infrastructure. It is the earth of the internet, and for many, and the database layer that must be perfect, that must be precise, because data sets needs to be that way, right? Databases need to be very precise in order for it to be of value. It needs to be secure. It needs to be unbreakable. And that is what he has created with his company. Now we have Musk. All right. So Musk is someone that has utilized both elements here. He has Cancer Sun, but his moon is in Virgo and his midheaven is in Aries. He holds the tension of both of these elements. The Aries midheaven for him gives him the audacity, yes, audacity, because it's very, very typical of, say, an Aries individual. And he has the audacity to pioneer electric cars and commercial space flight. No others are doing that like him. He is moving it forward whether you like it or not. And the Virgo moon gives him the obsessive, because Virgos can be so obsessive about the details, very detail oriented focus to actually engineer the rockets and do it in such a way so that it's successful. Now, whether he does that himself or not does not matter, right? He knows who he needs to have in place to have this happen for him. So that is the vision, structure, balance in action. Now, why am I talking about all of this? Fire, earth, all of these things? Well, guess what? 2026 is a very special year. 2026 is a year where the sky is flooded with fire energy. This is when the major outer planets, and you can count Jupiter and Saturn as part of that, we have these planets moving into fire signs. And so right now we have Saturn in Aries in 2026, all the way until 2028. This is discipline meets pioneering. Saturn demands that your boldest actions have a solid foundation at this time. And then good old Neptune, Neptune in Aries. This was a new entry this year. Well, this is spiritual vision meets initiation. The dream demands action from you at this time. And then good old Jupiter, the expander, the good opportunities. The Jupiter, yes, Jupiter is moving into the sign of Leo, and this is a transit that happens every 12 years. He's been sitting in Cancer, and come the end of June 30th, July 1st, depending where you are in this world, you'll be getting this push for the expansion of the heart. All right, a massive boost for creativity, personal branding, and visibility. And guess what? My next video is going to talk a lot about this particular archetype of Leo because it is fascinating how it's playing out in the marketing technology landscape that I play in, and I think many of you do also. So, right now, the sky is providing the fire. The critical question is, do you have earth? The earth, the components within your life, within your business, to structure and hold it, to make sure that it has this sustenance to continue on. Sustainability is a big earth question and keyword, I should say. And so without that container, this much energy just simply burns out. Just envision a fire, right? If you don't feed it with vision and then have a container to container and it just spills out and then flitters out. That is the problem when we have so much fire and not enough discipline, structure, earth, Saturn to make things happen step by step. So, what happens when the balance is off? All right, so maybe you are in this space where you're like, Carolina, I don't have any fire earth. Guess what? I barely have any fire and earth. Does that stop me from building a business without any ability to flourish in the future? Absolutely not. You have all 12 signs in your chart. Whether you have natal placements in these areas does not prevent you from doing them. It just makes the whole thing a little bit more individualistic and personal to you. Your path to that will look different. So if you are fire heavy and earth deficient, you have a million ideas, like, but nothing is ever finished. Okay. You launch constantly, but have no back end systems. Or you launch and never really look to see, like, oh, was this helpful? This is something that I need to refine. Should I go back and reflect? Instead, you're just launching, launching, and launching, and launching, which is great. I don't think that you should stop launching, but you need to have a structure that can help you measure it and see if whether what you just created is worth repeating over and over and over. So you experience massive, perhaps, revenue spikes followed by burnout. Okay. What if you're earth heavy and fire deficient? Your systems are perfect, but no one knows you exist because you're not actually out there talking about it. You spend months refining something that you've yet to sell. Or you have consistent, safe revenue, but no explosive growth because you're just like, doing just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, and just a little bit. So you need to think about how far can you really push yourself to break out of your bad habits. Now, what is the mirror here? What is the opportunity? So look at your chart. I want you to count your fire placements, count your earth placements, and see where is the gap. Are you a visionary who needs an operator, or are you an operator who needs a visionary at this time? Your chart will tell you exactly what you need to build, hire, or partner to find that balance. Now, is it possible for us to hire for everything that we're lacking in our charts? No, we're not all billionaires, but you can strategically look to see how you can position yourself in such a way where these parts are supported for you through your own actions. Now, what if you lack both? What if you don't have any fire and earth and you're mostly water or air? Well, you're living the realm of ideas and of emotions. So you need to look at your other parts of the chart to see where you can pull in the energies of fire and earth. Now, the questions, the activation here. If you're fire heavy, what is the one system that you would make your business that would make your business more reliable today? Whatever that one thing is, build it. Start building that. If you are heavy in earth, what is the vision that you've been, thinking about but not putting into action? You've been putting it off because it feels too risky. If that's your scenario, you need to launch it. You need to move forward and launch it. And if you fail, that is okay, because then you have information as to why things did not go well, right? We need to understand how our actions are received on the other end in order for us to be able to correct it. And if we're sitting just there like pondering like, why doesn't nobody ever do blah blah, and you never actually go out and ask for these things, well, you're just setting yourself up for failure. All right, so the vision without structure is just a dream, friend. And structure without vision is a machine that has no heart, that has no soul, and has no purpose. You need both. All right. If nothing else, look at what I just discovered looking at the billionaires' charts, because there is a possibility for all of us to create wealth for ourselves. Now, remember, wealth has many meanings: wealth of health, wealth of bank account, wealth of relationships, wealth of spiritual wholeness. So, whatever that measurement of wealth is for you, look to see how these elements, all four elements, can help support you. Now, what are we going to do next time? So, I'm starting a brand new series. We're moving away from the billionaires and looking at the charts of the people building the platforms and communities we use every single day. All right. We are starting with the architects of school. Yeah, exactly. School, Sam Ovens and Alex Hormozy, even though Alex is a co-founder. Yeah, I guess co-founder. He funded into school. The architect really began with Sam. And so be sure to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell so you're alerted to my next video and so you don't miss it. And if you want to go deeper with us, do join us in school in the Business Astrology Hub right here in the comments, as well in the actual description, which is questmystic.com/school. And I will see you there. Take care, friend. Bye.